Assignment 3, Vice President of Operations, Part 3, presented by Quincy Griffin for Professor Dr. Felix Fraze, Business 515. I will be doing my presentation on Johnson & Johnson healthcare facilities. Throughout this presentation, I will discuss the measurements of quality used by my organization. Also, I will be analyzing the current facility as well as steps taken to change the facility. I will be examining the current work system used and the feasibility in the design. I will defend the new change implementation shown through a diagram. I will show network planning for the business. The design method utilized at the Johnson & Johnson facility is the DMAIC method. DMAIC refers to the data-driven quality strategy for improving processes and is an integral part of the Johnson & Johnson Company's Six Sigma Quality Initiative. At Johnson & Johnson, we start by defining the process improvement goals to the senior management team that is consistent with the company's overall strategy of the organization and the customer's demand. It depends on the department where the rules are being implied. When it is all about increasing the outcome of manufacturing units and achieving customer satisfaction, there is a proper definition in front of the team. Second step in the process is measuring the existing processes to facilitate future comparisons. This is done by collecting process data through mapping and measuring of relevant processes. The company measurement refers to the process of assessing the pros and cons of the processing system currently being used. It is essential to find out the areas where improvement is required. This will allow leaders to estimate where the Six Sigma principles have been applied successfully or not. Identifying gaps between the actual and the goal performance is ideal at the Johnson & Johnson facility. We determine the causes of those gaps, determine how process inputs affected those gaps, and we rank all the improvement opportunities, and we go after the bigger ones first. Improving the process. It is important to constantly improve and optimize the process. Using analysis and other techniques, improvements through Six Sigma process will help the organization achieve its overall target. The last step, or the final step in the DMAIC program, with the help of particular steps, the company makes certain that the proper improvements and also all stops to the strategies right at that moment when it is a chance of failure. And that's control. At Johnson & Johnson, we utilize the statistical method of process control to minimize variability and enhance efficiency. The purpose of the statistical quality control is to ensure in a cost-efficient manner that the product is shipped to the customer and it meets their specifications. In order to overcome quality problems, Johnson & Johnson decided to upgrade their existing sensor system to a vision system that utilized image capture technology. The goal with changing technology was to reduce expenses associated with an incomplete production process and increase the production efficiency and effectiveness in the factory. More importantly, Johnson & Johnson deployed a vision system to maintain the standards of every product within the company that it makes. Here at Johnson & Johnson, we never pass off defective products to a customer. The management team partnered with the engineering team at the Johnson & Johnson Center, and they worked in conjunction with experts from the servo-dematic system that put the sensors in, and they're going to study the implementation and the integration of the vision system into the factory system. In the past, here at Johnson & Johnson, we use quality assurance officers to do random inspections of the product in 15-minute intervals, including operation officers who had to align with the sensor system or electronic system manually. With the new system, the Cognex vision system in place, these jobs will become more easier and convenient as they only need to be controlled and aligned, aligned and adjust right from a screen that an employee will be monitoring. Currently at the Johnson& Johnson facility, we hold a 10-year leasing agreement from the pretty much government or the city ordinance. And along with that agreement, we have incorporated full concrete construction, energy efficient mechanical system, 100% energy backup power system with vertical doors. It's 200 square feet. Johnson& Johnson products are produced there at the company from a wide range of baby powder all the way to Q-tips to toothpaste. It's currently 30 miles outside of city limits, so it's a longer drive for most employees. Throughout the day, we produce over 10,000 orders per day for global distribution. We do run 3 shifts, so it's operating 24/7, and we employ over 500 employees. Some of the determining factors that could pose for a new building location uh, in the inner city of Memphis, being closer to FedEx, products can ship faster and it can save on the transit on gas, so that save the company money. A facility close enough to a healthier supply of labor in the city will help it operate more functionally. Um, Developing location alternatives. Once managers know what the factors are dominant, they can identify location alternatives that satisfy the selected factors. Like I stated, inner city Memphis, 5.1 miles away from FedEx, a larger building with room for expansion in the future, a facility that is close enough for current staff to not have to relocate. Evaluate location alternatives. After a set location alternatives have been identified, managers evaluate them and make their final selection. Buildings outside of the city limit, roughly 15.9 miles away from FedEx or 25-minute drive, also have suppliers nearby that can help the company reduce their production costs, and the building is outside of high volume traffic areas. Capacity planning deals with maximum output rates at the facility can be determined by the size of the facility and its equipment. Johnson& Johnson is currently a 200 square foot building and produces over 10,000 orders per day, 24 hours per day, at a rate of 417 units per hour. With preparations for a new facility at over 500,000 square feet, and new automated technology, the estimate is set to double to 21,000 per day at 875 units per hour. Solving problems for people everywhere is an integral part of the culture at Johnson& Johnson. We value the powered people, power of people-centered design for patients, customers, and the community. And we will integrate design thinking throughout the functions of the business. Design thinking is a part of everything that we do. And as we work together, we extend our teams. It is a long-standing emphasis on transformational innovation that lets us improve the health and the daily lives of people everywhere. Elements of work design, task identity. Johnson Johnson has created jobs that allow employees the extent of job innovation or job involves in completing and identifying a piece of work from start to finish with visible outcome. Employees are motivated to complete tasks if they identify them and have seen them through from start to finish. Autonomy. Johnson & Johnson has created a level of freedom and ability to schedule tasks that the employees currently do have. Johnson & Johnson organization feasibility. The company's current job design is more of a behavioral design. Employees feel good about what they're doing, and it adds value to by them doing it. Johnson & Johnson allows Johnson allows working in a place where people can use their talents and skills and work with others in an atmosphere of mutual respect. The new change process was enacted to reduce expenses associated with incomplete production process and increase production efficiency and effectiveness to the factory. I chose to do a method analysis on the quality portion of Johnson & Johnson outbound containers. Typically, two employers would be responsible for doing random audits on outbound containers by enacting random audits with the automated machine. It will reduce the need for human auditors, and it will only require one person to monitor the machines. So here I have a diagram of how each one of the sensors will be placed within the building, starting from 1 to 6, starting with the inbound sensor, next the finished goods sensor, the picking sensor. Both 4 and 5 are both storage sensors. I will move to the packing sensor, which is 6, and last but not least, the shipping sensor. Beside it is a diagram of where each sensor will be placed in the new facility and how it will affect each level of the business. The plan is the plan is to place sensors throughout the building with an expected completion date of July 2018. The method is the method in the previous slide contains the order that each sensor will be placed in the building from start to finish. First sensor, inbound sensor, 4 weeks. Finished goods sensor, 4 weeks. Picking sensor is 4 weeks. Storage sensor, both 4 and 5 will take a total of 6 weeks. Packing sensor is 4 weeks. Shipping sensor is 5 weeks. That's my presentation. My name is Quincy Griffin. Thank you.